Hi, this is John next door, and today's tutorial is on how to make the box. And it's this box that I made for the Filigree Delight hexagon frame that I made a couple of weeks ago. So today I'm going to show you how to make the base, which is this bit here, and then how to make the box. So to get started, what you actually need, and one of the main things that you'll actually need, are some hexagon dies. These are random ones that I've got. I'm not sure if they're spellbinders, or I think they might actually be X-cut from Do Crafts, but I'm not 100% sure. Got the hexagon dies there anyway. That's what you need. So we're going to start by making the base, and the base is made, and here I've just used a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to show you first how it goes together. Now I'm using again my tape runner. I would use wet glue, and always do use wet glue when I'm making something, but for tutorials like this I will always use a tape runner. Interesting note is, when I'm actually making cards, invariably I use a tape runner. It means that if I don't like the placing of something, usually within a few minutes I can take it back off until I'm completely happy with it. Now I'm just folding this in. The reason I'm doing this now like this is it's going to be a little bit easier to explain how this is made when I show you the piece of card I've measured it out on, when I've got one made. So I'm starting on the back of a square piece of card here, or a scrap piece of card actually, and what I've done is I've taken the largest of the hexagon dies that I've got, and I've measured and drawn around it. Then what I've done is, using my rule, which has markings at every ½ centimetre on, I've taken it 1.5 centimetres out and extended the line, which you can see here. You can do that any way that you want to by measuring out. So what I've done is to create a lot larger hexagon. Then what I've done is taken each point on the hexagon, and here's one, and placed my ruler against 2 of them and drawn straight lines across. And I've done that on every one, so that each hexagon then creates, like this, which I'm penciling in now, a section that will be the front. So I simply then cut that shape out, quite simply using a pair of scissors like this. And next I score the hexagon in between those points. Just like this. I'll just do the last one. What that does is give you this line here that runs all along the top and creates the base. Then, where I've got the straight lines, I simply score from the points out or in, which again then gives me the folds for the front, and give me those folds. Next, I cut in at every alternate side of the hexagon up to the straight line. Very hard to explain, so hopefully this will show you a little bit better when I've done it. There we go. So I have 3 pieces that are just the flaps, and 3 pieces that have little edges. I fold those in. Obviously I've not scored that one. Okay. That creates the piece I started with to make this. And what I do is fold those in, and hopefully, if you can see on here, they just glue down, and it makes a perfectly flat piece like that, which is the one I made a couple of minutes ago. Next, to place it on, all I simply do is put a blob of glue in the centre of the filigree section I want, and then put a line of glue from the centre out to each point on the hexagon. Place it in the centre and fold to each piece. It does take quite a little bit of moving and getting right and clipping and things like that to get it exactly right, and once you're happy with it, I can put an extra line of glue in on either side. Your best glue to use for this is the bookbinding glue, because that dries almost instantly. But if you can see, hopefully, you just keep playing with that until you've got it placed exactly right. I'm not going to keep at that, but then that creates you the piece that is stuck to the base, and here's one that's stuck. As you can see, each one's off a little bit, but the positioning is right. That then allows you to decorate it how you want. And what I've done here on this one is I've put a ribbon through, put a little tag on, and then put gems at each point along the marks. What I did do then was to tuck a Spellbinder's flower in. There is a flower tutorial of the peony already in my video tutorials on my blog, and there will be one appearing with the iris that is what I used in this one, but that's not going to be on this one today because there's not really enough time. So that's how to make the base, and that's one when it's stuck down. Now, to make the box that fits over it, I'm going to go back to the piece that I just made, and this one, as you can remember, I made using the largest piece of die, or the largest die in the set. Right. What I'm going to do is the fold here and the piece, I want to measure that, and that comes to just over 5.5 millimeters, or sorry, 55 millimeters, 5.5 centimeters. So I need to take a piece of acetate, just like that, and I need to score that then at every 5.5 millimeters to create the folds. So I don't have 0.5 millimeters everywhere, so if I place it on the half to start with, I've left the white piece of paper along the bottom so it's easy for you to see it. So 5.5, I've moved it in half, so I want it at 6. I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't move. I put the fold in like that. So then I want 5.5 on from that, so if I slide it back, there's my half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I next score at 11. Moving on again, I want to move it up to the half mark, and I want to go on. So again, I've got my half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm scoring again at 17. Move it back, giving me my half, that's my half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again at 22. Move the half mark back, so I've got my half again, there's my half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, scoring again at 28. Now, that's my folds in, and hopefully you can see that, but I think it could be a little bit difficult, might be easier against the green. So, fold on the first line, making sure it's even top and bottom, and burnish with the bone folder. Right, now I've scored and I've folded this, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I've done is I've put a strip of ribbon across the bottom, just glued on with the tape pen, which strengthens it, and also so that you can see it a little bit better. I've cut another piece exactly the same as I did before, you can see I've marked it as well. But instead of leaving the little brackets in place, I've taken them off. So this is again the largest die in the set I've got, drawn around, and then a 1.5 centimetre all the way around, and I've cut those into 6 flaps. The only other thing that you need now is the back piece. The acetate will only go into 5 pieces on A4, so here I've got a strip left from a piece of A4 card, and again this time I'm going to score down at 2, move it along because I want 5.5, so there's the half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, score down again at 2 and cut that piece. Now I've already made a piece. I want to use the immortal words of Blue Peter for those of you in Britain. Here's one I made earlier, and I folded it and glued it. And what I've done is I've put a decorative piece in the back. Now I've used yellow on this one so that it's bright and so that you can see it, and also to match with the actual frame I've done. Now whilst I've been away, I've also decorated my frame in here, and I've added yellow onto that, and I've put in here some little ribbon roses that I've just started making, and there will be a tutorial on these ribbon roses at a later date once I'm 100% happy with them. But these are made from just strips of ribbon sewn. So I've got my back piece, I've got my acetate and my top, and it's quite simple. First of all, making sure I match front to front, I'm going to attach my acetate onto the first side of my back piece like that. Then, starting at the middle, very difficult to show this, I put the first fold on, lining up the lines, which means that the front is right. Fold it over, and then I'm sticking down each piece to a flap. Again, I'm using tape on this one. You can, if you want to, use a wet glue, although the tape actually works very well for this because the acetate does slip and slide. I pull the back piece round. I'm just going to attach it first. A little fiddly, but hopefully you can get the idea. So there we go. Attach down the side and fold down the last 3 flaps. Go inside and just make sure that each one of those flaps is glued and stuck down perfectly. Now, to decorate and to secure it and to match the bottom, I'm going to use another piece of the matching ribbon, and using a tape pen, this time glue the ribbon like that, placing it in the centre. And again, if I was making this for myself or for a gift rather than the tutorial, I would take a little bit more time and care over this. Bring it round to the back, same with the other side, just ensures that it's fixed and neatens it all up. Fits perfect. Cut off the overhang, and again seal the end, or use nail varnish if that's what you do. A little bit wonky on that one, however it's just because I've done it really quickly. Hopefully you get the idea from that. And then all we have to do is simply place the lid over your finished item, and there we go. That is my completed box for the hexagon filigree frame. I'll put a picture of this on at the beginning and in the end, but you can see how it's been decorated. You could add pearls all over, you can put tags on, you can put ribbon and bows on the top. How you decorate it is up to you, but that's the basic premise, and when stood up you get a beautiful gift. For more creative ideas, my cards and my creations, go to www.johnnextdoor.blogspot.com and enjoy.